Welcome to this episode. So, this week I was kind of reminded of a little NLP technique when I realized somebody told me that one of the people on the yard had a camera in their stable. I didn't realize they had a camera in their stable. But I was told, yeah, that person has a camera in the stable and it has sound on it. Oh, this doesn't in any way influence me one way or another because I don't go around gossiping. But I was thinking about, if people knew about the camera, not necessarily on my yard, if people knew about a camera on a yard, how would that affect them? Would they gossip in another area? Would they stop gossiping? Would they change their habit? Would they think differently? Would they bottle in their real feelings and thoughts because they can't say them near this camera that's got the sound on? And it does remind me a little bit of a technique that I think we're going to find quite useful. The second reminder to me was I had a client this week, and this client is quite a high level rider, doing really well, young rider. But if things don't go well, this person gets incredibly angry, really, really volatile. And it's affecting people around her, and not just her. It creates a bad atmosphere, and it's becoming a problem. But it's become a habit as well to just kind of lash out with her tongue. So I was thinking about these two things, and I was thinking about them separately, but then I thought, you know what? They're kind of related. So if you think about something that you do or something that you've done, and not necessarily anger, it could be any emotion that you didn't want. It could be a lack of confidence. It could be that you don't feel good enough, that you don't feel a session went well, that you're feeling nervous, unmotivated, anything that's tinged, with some kind of negativity. And it could be in the moment. It's a little bit difficult to do this in the moment when you're riding, unless your horse is very well behaved and you can either come to a stop or you can walk and your horse isn't going to do anything much. However, it's really good to do it as a point of reflection. So have a little think now. Is there something that has happened or something that's repeatedly happened and you don't feel great? And like I say, it doesn't have to be this anger situation. It can be fear. It can be that you froze. You had a lot of self-doubt. Your brain just seized up, anything at all. And I want you to imagine that situation, but I want you to view it from a different perspective. And you probably know that when somebody reframes something for you, so you tell them about an experience and then they reframe it and they come at a different angle, that if they're skilled at reframing, then it makes you see something slightly differently. It may not get rid of the whole problem, but it does make you feel better. And you think, okay, so maybe I could do it a different way, or maybe there is a different way of looking at it. And this is like that, but you don't need the other person to reframe, or you don't need to reframe yourself. All you need to do is imagine you're up on the ceiling and you're that little CCTV, you're that little camera looking down on you in this particular event. So you're watching yourself from a height. So it could be really, really high, up in the rafters, or it could just be, ceiling height. But you're looking down on yourself, doing this particular thing, experiencing this particular event, and watch it unfold. And you're not watching it necessarily as your true self, you're watching it as an observer. Now, when you do that and you look down on yourself as an observer, what are you picking up on that's positive that perhaps you didn't pick up on when you were in the moment and it was all just happening at once? What positive things are you picking up on? What can you see yourself doing? What can you see yourself doing that's really good and you missed it? What can you see yourself doing that needs improvement, but you know it needs improvement, so now it's something to work on. It's not a negative, it's just something to work on. What can you see that triggered you? And can you in any way change that trigger or how you think about that trigger? Just temporarily. So was it that, I don't know, the cat jumped into the arena, or the birds kind of flew overhead, or a helicopter came, or whatever? What was it? Or was it a time thing that, some people aren't nervous until a certain time point when they kind of think, right, that's enough. Can't hold it together anymore. I've done my 10 minutes. So if you're a 10-minuter or a 15-minuter, why not ride for those minutes and then stop, or do 10 seconds over? So you're kind of giving yourself the advice because you're looking down, and the greater the height that you're looking down on yourself from, the more detached you'll feel, and the more that you can make really balanced observations, and you get into the mindset of being an observer, like you're looking at your best friend. So you're not going to be nasty and hypercritical. You're going to be supportive. You're going to list the good things. You're not going to start listing all the things that you, as the rider, actually did post-ride or during the ride. Try it. It's a lovely technique. It's ever so releasing. It's ever so insightful. Let me know how you get on, and I'll see you again really soon.